Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto had the Byakugan and Sharingan, part 1, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. He woke up, looking around him he could see nothing, it was completely black, but he could tell that he must be in some kind of tunnel or cave, because he could feel the uneven stone floor under his back, it wasn't the most comfortable thing in the world. He vaguely remembered being in some sort of liquid, it was green, and he could see people moving around in front of him, but apparently outside of the liquid, then something was dropped into the water, and another liquid rose up from the bottom of tank, this one was blue. And a lot warmer than the green one that just seemed to vanish, as the exothermic reaction took place. He couldn't remember what happened after that till he woke up without a clue as to where he was. Alright kid, time to find out where the hell we are, said a voice in his head. Oh really? And how exactly do you propose to do that? He replied. Simple really, I'm going to give you a new set of eyes, the voice said matter-of-factly. How the hell can you do that? He asked, surprise apparent in his voice. I can do many things that would normally be impossible, I'm the reason you've not died yet, replied the voice. Even so, I thought you had to begin with. He was curious and annoyed now, he knew he didn't have a bloodline, and he was pretty sure that without one this being talking to him from within his own head could do nothing. Ah, but that's where you are wrong, said the voice sounding slightly cocky, having apparently just read his thoughts, you already have and one of the strongest bloodlines around, but with no one to teach you how to activate it or use it, it just lay dormant, now I'm going to teach you to activate and use it, but first I'm going to make it even more powerful. If you thought that the Byakugan or the Sharingan were strong, yours will make them seem no better than normal eyesight in comparison, said the voice. Okay then, so what is my natural bloodline then? He asked the voice. Byakugan. It's a powerful combination of Byakugan, Sharingan, and a few other things. One is a kind of genjutsu, another is in a class of its own, and the rest I can't remember right now. Now to give you a small history lesson before you bombard me with questions. Your clan dates back over 3,000 years and was one of the first to have a Kekkei Genkai. Both the Hyugas and the Uchihas are descended from your clan, although both clans know it and would never admit it, and they each only gained a fraction of the full power. In order for the Hyugas to maintain theirs, their eyes had to change and lose their pupils. The power the Uchihas took didn't need the eyes to change too much, but had one slight drawback. Because of the level of power the eyes possessed, they had to create a way of blocking the power, so that only when a person was capable of handling the eyes up to that point could access that power, but your clan again had a slight difference. The chakra reserves at any given age were at least 3 times that of normal shinobi at a similar age, so your clan never needed any control measures put in place, but it did have one problem, it could only use one of its abilities at a time. Now then, first things first. I'm going to activate your, said the voice. His eyes felt strange as chakra surged into them, opening the gates to pathways he hadn't used before. Right now that's done, next is to explain the other skills of your eyes. You know what ultraviolet light is and infrared light, your eyes can see both of these and also have the ability to see in any level of light, even total darkness. The genjutsu ability will create 2 kinds. The first is similar to standard genjutsu, but is a minimum of 5 layers deep right now, but with time and practice more, and the second creates a single layer far more real and far harder to break than standard genjutsu. With time the number of layers you can put into it can be increased. But each extra layer means using the same amount of chakra again, so 2 layers would double the normal chakra used, 3 would treble it, and 4 would quadruple it, and so on for each extra layer. And for my gift, as I told you, your abilities can normally only be used one at a time. But I'm about to change that, you will now be able to use one of each of your abilities at the same time, so for example, you could use Sharingan, Byakugan, a 5-layer genjutsu, and night vision at the same time, but you couldn't use night vision and ultraviolet vision at the same time, said the voice. Well, that's all good and well, but the hell do I actually get the abilities to work? He asked. You make it sound so hard when it's ever so simple. Just think about the ability or abilities you want to activate and focus chakra into your eyes. Once your eyes are active, they will stay active. Then change what they are doing with a mere thought until you either run out of chakra or deliberately turn them off. Unlike the Sharingan and Byakugan, they will stay active even whilst you are unconscious and if you are knocked out at the same time. As you lose the last of your chakra, they will automatically reactivate when you have enough chakra stored up. Now give it a try, the voice said. He carefully focused the chakra into his eyes and focused on activating the Byakugan and the night vision. Suddenly the world around him lit up as though there were lights everywhere, and he found he could see in a dome around him. It was strange for him to not only be able to see straight ahead, but behind, above, to both sides, and below himself as well. Now I have 2 more small gifts for you. The first is hearing, more sensitive than most animals, and the second is a sense of smell on the same level. These should make your life a lot easier, it said. He looked around and could see he was in some sort of cave, but couldn't find any way to get out. As far as he could see, the cave just stretched on and on in both directions, with neither turns nor ends. Okay, you seem to be struggling a bit here, kid, so listen to me, focus on what you can hear, the voice said calmly. He did so, and could hear the wind moving through the cave even though he couldn't feel it. It was going from in front of him to behind him. There you go, kid, now you know which way to go to get out, the voice said. He started walking forwards, avoiding the various stalagmites that he would have walked into if not for his newly awakened abilities. Slowly, but surely he made his way to the end of the cave and out into the early dawn that awaited him outside. He found himself standing on the top of the Hokage monument, but towards the back of it, out of sight of the village itself. He turned off his night vision. And then looked down at his clothes. They weren't his normal orange jumpsuit, but instead he had baggy black jeans and a black t-shirt with black boots on his feet. Any idea what happened to me? He asked the voice. Yeah, you and the rest of your team went on a mission, but unfortunately it would seem that it was a trap to get you. They took out your team and left them there, near, as I could tell they were all alive, just badly beaten and unconscious. Then they took you to some underground lab. I have no idea where. They did something to you, but I can't tell what or if it was just one thing or many. Beyond that I don't know. I certainly have no idea how we ended up in that cave, the voice replied. I hope the rest of my team made it back and are okay, he said. I guess there's only one way to find out, he said out loud, and started walking up to the top of the monument and towards the village of Konoha. As he reached the top and looked over, as an explosion happened at the wall a short distance away from the main gate. He quickly started running towards it. As he ran down one of the streets, Shikamaru appeared out of a side street and nearly fell over, just catching himself and carrying on running when he saw him. Hey Naruto, where have you been? You were listed MIA 2 weeks ago, said Shikamaru running alongside him. No time to explain right now, we gotta find out what caused that explosion, he replied. As they arrived at the place, they saw that the wall had a hole blown into it and sound ninja were pouring through the opening. Other leaf ninja had already arrived and had begun to engage the sound ninja. Upon seeing the two young genin, one of the sound ninja ran at them from the side. But Naruto's Huengan was still active and he saw the ninja come at him. He bit his left thumb and pressed it onto his right forearm. A summoning seal appeared on his arm and a kunai appeared. He quickly grabbed the kunai in his left hand and threw it at the approaching ninja. The ninja had been so sure that he hadn't been seen that he was surprised to see a kunai flying at him and couldn't react to dodge it. It struck him square in the forehead, just below his forehead protector, and killed him instantly. Naruto figured it best not to ask how he could do it in the middle of a fight and instead just activated the Sharingan part of his eyes and began to summon more kunai from his arms, quickly firing them at sound ninja both engaged in combat with leaf ninja and those still coming through. Shikamaru, Naruto shouted. What now? Asked Shikamaru in his usual bored voice. Is Sasuke in Konoha? Naruto asked whilst throwing a kunai at a sound ninja that was trying to sneak up behind him and hitting him square in the groin with it. Yeah, why? Asked Shikamaru, apparently but curious now. But Naruto said. He then formed 8 hand signs in rapid succession and slammed his palm onto the floor. A summoning circle shot out from around his palm. As the smoke cleared, an 8-foot-tall fox with 4 tails slowly came into view. Help the leaf ninja. I need to find someone, he said to the fox. Sure, this looks like fun, said the fox. It appeared to have a sadistic grin on its face. Shikamaru, come on, I need to find Sasuke, shouted Naruto running off. Shikamaru quickly followed. What a drag. I'd rather be in bed, said Shikamaru under his breath. You did that, didn't you, said Naruto. Of course, just another little gift from me, saved summoning those damn toads. They don't listen to you half the time anyway, replied the voice. Okay, I'll give you that one. Now any guesses on the best way to find Sasuke? He asked. He's the one that's got the Sharingan, isn't he? Asked the voice. Yeah, why? Naruto was a little confused as to why they wanted to know. Okay, that makes life easier. There's one more ability your eyes have. By focusing hard on the kind of Kekkei Genkai that's descended from yours, you want to find your eyes can lock onto and track each and every person around. They can also point you in the direction of the nearest person with that Kekkei Genkai. With time you'll be able to locate any type of Kekkei Genkai this way, but it takes practice to find them. But your blood already knows about those descended from it, so it can find them easily, replied the voice. Alright, thanks for all your help. Planning on giving me more in the future, or is it a one-day special? Asked Naruto. I'll see, replied the voice. Naruto stopped suddenly to Shikamaru's surprise. Right time to find Sasuke, he said, and closing his eyes started to focus. Suddenly his eyes flew open. This way, he said, running down a side alley. How in the hell does he suddenly know where he is? Oh well, I better follow him, Shikamaru muttered as he ran after Naruto. As he was running up to an alley, his eyes caught sight of Niji Hyuga round the corner and he shouted, "Niji, come on, we're gonna need all the help we can get." Both Niji and Shikamaru were stunned. They couldn't work out how he had seen Niji. But dismissing it for the time being, they both followed him as he ran through the streets, twisting and turning. He followed the signals that his eyes gave him, turning left, then right, then left again. As he got closer, the signal his eyes gave him started angling upwards, so he jumped. He could see Niji and Shikamaru apparently very surprised at his actions, but they followed nonetheless. Once on the rooftops, his eyes seemed to lock onto someone moving off in the distance. He quickly jumped from rooftop to rooftop, moving on an intercept course with Niji and Shikamaru following along, completely dumbfounded as to how Naruto seemed to know exactly where to go. Naruto quickly jumped from rooftop to rooftop, continually gaining on Sasuke. After around a minute, he shouted, "Sasuke, over here." Sasuke quickly turned and headed towards Naruto. As soon as he arrived, he noticed a difference in Naruto's eyes. "Naruto, what's happened to your eyes? They look like a cross between a strange version of Sharingan, a weird Byakugan, and something else that I've never seen before," said Sasuke. "I'm not surprised, my has been activated," replied Naruto. "Okay, but why does it look like it's got Byakugan and Sharingan mixed together?" asked Niji. "Well, that would be because it does. It's the Kekkei Genkai that both Sharingan and Byakugan descended from. I can probably teach you both to access the most powerful parts of your Kekkei Genkai," replied Naruto. "What are you on about, Naruto? There is no more power in the Byakugan," said Niji. "And the extra power in the Sharingan can only be unlocked when you have enough chakra to do so," continued Sasuke. "Okay then, if you don't believe me, Sasuke, look into my eyes and I'll activate the next stage for you right now," said Naruto. "Fine, let's see if you can," replied Sasuke, looking into Naruto's eyes. As he did, Naruto's eyes started to glow, then his felt strange, he blinked, and when he opened his eyes again, the world around him seemed to have slowed down, as though his Sharingan was active. But he couldn't feel any chakra being used by his eyes. "It's done," said Naruto, looking away. "Okay, that's different," said Shikamaru. "What's different?" asked Sasuke. "Your eyes, instead of the tailed balls of your normal Sharingan, they're like fishing hooks, 3 of them," said Shikamaru. "Your normal Sharingan won't take anywhere near as much chakra to use its abilities, and you've gotten a few new tricks with the Mangekyo Sharingan. I'll activate the next stage when you've gotten used to that one. Now then, Niji, how about I activate your latent abilities?" said Naruto, moving his attention from Sasuke to Niji. "You can try, but like I said, there's nothing there," replied Niji, his tone arrogant and as though he knew everything that would ever need to be known. "Alright then, look into my eyes," said Naruto, focusing his eyes on Niji. Niji followed suit, focusing his eyes on Naruto's, which had started to glow again. Niji could feel the chakra behind his eyes creating new pathways, and it felt as though his eyes were changing too. Shikamaru watched amazed. First, Naruto had activated a that he hadn't even heard of, then he'd advanced Sasuke's Sharingan, and now he could see Niji's eyes develop pupils right in front of his own. They seemed to be changing to be more like normal eyes, but still kept a look of having had Byakugan. They also seemed to take on a slight orange hue to their eyes as well. "Niji, I think you can be pretty sure he's done something to them. By the look on your face, I'd say your Byakugan is still active and working fine. But your eyes now look more like normal eyes," he said. "There's more than that, you can see objects that are moving too fast for human eyes to see now, and you can also have night vision and can see in infrared," said Naruto. "Oh, and how exactly would I do that?" asked Niji. "Simple, the fast vision will activate with your Byakugan, and to activate either the night vision or infrared vision, all you have to do is think about which one you want to activate and focus some chakra into your eyes, and it'll activate. Once active, you can switch between the two just by thinking about it," said Naruto. "Okay, now that that's all sorted, why did we need Sasuke, and what are you planning to do?" asked Shikamaru. "Well, I'm guessing the second part of the final stage of the exams went ahead as planned," said Naruto. "No, they didn't. Sasuke was given time to recover after the beating he took. The water shinobi that was left was called home because her father had just died, so she was given time to grieve." "And with you MIA?" Niji asked Hishi Hyuga to see if he could get them postponed because he wants to prove to you that you're a failure, so they've been put back 3 weeks, but it would seem that Orochimaru decided he wasn't going to wait," said Shikamaru. "Double perfect, okay Sasuke, Niji, it's time for you to put your new skills to the test. We're going to take down Orochimaru. Shikamaru, can you devise some sort of plan on the way?" said Naruto. "Sure, but I gotta say I think you're crazy. Taking on Orochimaru ain't gonna be a walk in the park, you know," said Shikamaru. "We'll see, you just come up with a plan," said Naruto. They once again started leaping from rooftop to rooftop, this time in the direction of the Hokage's tower. Both Sasuke and Niji were finding their eyes far more effective at their normal functions. And they had both realized that along with the new abilities they had gained, they also had a small but noticeable increase in their chakra levels. Naruto lead the way. They just landed on a rooftop when three sound ninja jumped up onto the other side of it. "We don't have time for this," shouted Naruto, continuing to run at the three ninja. As he approached, red chakra covered each of his hands and quickly morphed into blades. He put his hands together and they formed a single blade 10 feet long. He brought it down to his right side and swept it round in an arc in front of himself, easily slicing the three ninja in half. Their bodies quickly falling to the floor with blood spraying everywhere, except for some unknown reason the four of them, as the chakra blade dissipated and the four genin ran past the dead sound ninja. "That was your doing, wasn't it?" Naruto thought. "Do you think," the voice said sarcastically, "like you said you don't have time for that sort of thing, so for now I'll just take control of your arms and use my chakra to solve these little problems. I'll teach you the techniques I use. And a few extras either later today or tomorrow, we don't have time for it now," it said. "Fair enough. By the way, is there anything more about me that would help?" asked Naruto. "Now that you mention it, I think there is, but I can't quite remember. I'll let you know as soon as I can," said the voice. "Okay, now to kick Orochimaru's wimpy ass," replied Naruto. The four genin continued to run at high speed. They could see the Hokage's tower getting closer. After a couple more jumps they could see a barrier on the top of the Hokage's tower, and after 3 more jumps they could see several Anbu Black Ops outside it, apparently unable to get in. "Great, how are we going to get through that?" asked Shikamaru in his usual drawl. "I remember one now, kid, you dispel any barrier regardless of type or strength by merely touching it," said the voice. "Great, that's just what we needed though, Naruto. Don't worry, another part of me means that I can dispel a barrier of any type or strength by just touching it," he told them. "Okay, well I guess that's that problem solved. The best plan of attack is going to be for Sasuke and me to take the back and Naruto and Neji to take the front. Our chance of success is at its best around 30%, said Shikamaru. "Well, you would be right on our previous power levels, but I think our best chance will be with Sasuke and me up front. We can keep him pinned with very powerful Kekkei Genkai Genjutsu, and whilst he's stuck you and Neji can hit him from the back. Our chance of success should be nearer 95%, replied Naruto. Why did I even bother come up with a plan if he wasn't going to bother using it? Then again, like he said, I am basing it on what the three of them were capable of, not what they are capable of, muttered Shikamaru to himself. Naruto, what are you on about? I don't have a Kekkei Genkai Genjutsu, said Sasuke, quite confused by Naruto's statement. Trust me Sasuke, you do now, and when the time comes you'll know exactly how to use. I'll use mine first and trap him, then you'll be able to use yours without him even trying to fight it, said Naruto as they landed on top of the Hokage's tower. And one of the Anbu turned round to look at them. What are you genin doing here? You're no match for Orochimaru, particularly not you Sasuke Uchiha, as you're the one he's after, said the Anbu wearing an owl mask. Do you want in the barrier to get the Hokage out or not? And I do mean get him out, not fight alongside him, asked Naruto. We certainly want in the barrier. Why? Asked the Anbu. Then get out of the way and leave this to us, said Naruto. The Anbu quickly moved aside. They planned to let them open the barrier if they could, then they'd knock them out and one of them would take them to safety. Naruto, Sasuke, Neji, and Shikamaru walked up to the barrier. Then Sasuke, Neji, and Shikamaru stopped just in front of it and Naruto carried on, and soon as it seemed like he was going to hit the barrier face first, the barrier dissipated and he walked on into the second barrier. And to the surprise of the four Anbu, as soon as he hit the barrier it dissipated and all four of the genin disappeared. They quickly hurried inside to look for the Hokage. Naruto appeared in front of the Hokage, standing between him and Orochimaru. It's time you left, Lord Hokage. We'll handle this guy, said Naruto. How can you? He's one of the Sannin, the best of my former pupils, asked the Hokage, apparently very worried for the safety of the young boys. Relax, we're far stronger than we used to be, said Naruto, looking over his shoulder to smile at the Hokage. It was then that the Hokage was Naruto's eyes and the change they had undergone and the realization that the most powerful was once again active and under the control of a loyal member of the Hidden Leaf Village. Alright Naruto, he's all yours, make him pay for his crimes, said the Hokage, feeling very proud of the young man standing in front of him. After this was done he would make sure the village knew of his bravery and his the most powerful to have ever come out of the village hidden in the leaves. The Fuengan. You got it Hokage, now get clear, said Naruto. Oh Sarutobi sensei, you aren't leaving the party already, are you? Asked Orochimaru, his voice light and playful, as though he was inviting the man he was trying to kill back into a birthday party or a disco. Yes, I am Orochimaru, you're going to have your hands full anyway. You remember the nine-tailed fox, don't you? Naruto here is the one that it was sealed in, and he's in Uzumaki. You remember there, don't you? The Fuengan. Well, I suggest you take a good look at his eyes, and of course you know the Sharingan possessed by Sasuke, and the Byakugan possessed by Neji Hyuga over there, and of course you should be able to tell a Nara like Shikamaru just by his looks, replied the Hokage with a smile on his face that grew each time he relayed more information to his former pupil. And watched his face drop further with each and every piece he heard. No, this can't be, these clans shouldn't even be able to stand being near each other, never mind fight together, said Orochimaru, a look of pure terror on his face. We'll do more than just fight together, we'll fight. As a team we aren't just a few ninjas from different clans, we're friends first and foremost, said Naruto with a wide grin on his face. No, that's impossible, the Uchiha and Hyuga elders should have prevented it, cried Orochimaru, despairing more and more with each time he was told something that would never have happened before. I'm one of only 2 remaining Uchihas, and I intend to kill Itachi for wiping out the rest of the clan, said Sasuke. Like I'd listen to the elders of the main household, they're the reason my father is dead, said Neji. What can I say, these guys are worth the effort because I know they'd put it in for me, said Shikamaru, a rare smile gracing his lips. And I'm guessing you already know, but just in case you don't, I grew up an orphan, outcast by the village. These guys knew me before knowing about the fox, and they know that the fox doesn't control me, so even now that they know, they don't care and are still my friends. As for my clan's problems with other clans, I couldn't care less, we intend to forge a new future with those problems left in the past, said Naruto, slowly starting to build up his chakra. Hey, how about lending me some chakra to give this guy more layers of realisticness than he ever imagined normal could have? Naruto asked. Now that sounds like fun, sure thing, take as much as you need, replied the voice. Alright, thanks, Naruto thought, and then started to draw out the chakra and mix it with his own, then he quickly started focusing the chakra into his eyes, Fuengan style. Visual jutsu power hunger, Naruto shouted whilst giving a look that seemed to bore into his very soul to Orochimaru. But to Orochimaru nothing seemed to happen. Either this is excellent or you just failed miserably, Orochimaru chuckled. Why didn't it work, Naruto said. Well, maybe it did, so just in case I think I'll dispel it, said Orochimaru, putting his hands together to form the dispel seal and activating it. The world went black for a moment, then the world reappeared again. Well, it looks like you managed to break so we're just going to have to take you head on, said the Naruto standing in front of him. Meanwhile, okay Sasuke, get ready, he's broken the first layer of my and thinks he's free and clear, said Naruto. They were still standing in the same places they had been in, Orochimaru hadn't actually moved a muscle even to talk. What on earth do you mean, Naruto? Asked Neji. The Jinjutsu created by Fuengan is so powerful that it creates the illusion purely in the victim's head. As far as Orochimaru believes he's fighting us right now, he's dispelled the first layer and it's taken quite a bit out of him, but he's still got 4 layers to go before he can get out. And each time he's going to need more energy because the fights he'd have would be harder each time, so it gets more and more realistic, but we aren't going to give him that chance. We're about to use the Mangekyo Sharingan that Sasuke has, that'll trap him in a 5th layer of Jinjutsu again. But it will be fully real to him, and Sasuke will have full control of it, and in the meantime Neji is going to close most of his chakra points. As to date, I'm the only one that's been able to reopen them. I doubt he will, and Shikamaru will grab him with his shadow and hold him in place whilst we bind him in place. Once that's done, Sasuke's Jinjutsu can be deactivated, and by the time he gets out of the final of my Jinjutsu he'll be nearly dead, that is of course assuming he does, said Naruto. Alright, Sasuke, go ahead and start, but Naruto, when the hell did you become able to make such a plan with such speed? Asked a very surprised Shikamaru. No idea. I don't have any idea what happened to me in the 2 weeks I've been gone. All I do know is that the 9-tailed fox ain't gonna let me be controlled unless he's the one doing the controlling, which he doesn't seem inclined to do anymore. So whatever they did is only going to be of benefit to me, replied Naruto. Okay, replied Shikamaru, as Sasuke began channeling chakra into his eyes for his Jinjutsu, and Naruto altered his Jinjutsu so that Sasuke appeared in front of Orochimaru in it. Then Sasuke activates his Mangekyo Sharingan, and Orochimaru was caught in the Jinjutsu. Alright, now Neji, start cutting off his chakra, said Naruto when he knew that Orochimaru was being pounded to hell in Sasuke's. Alright, here I go, 8 trigrams. 128 palms, said Neji, then beginning to quickly and accurately slam into 128 of Orochimaru's chakra points, instantly closing each of them, and just as Sasuke finished his, Neji finished his attack. And Orochimaru fell limp on the floor, exhausted mentally and physically unable to move. Well, it would seem that you've teamed up rather well to take me out, and you worked so well I couldn't even tell it was, but do you really think that blocking the chakra points would stop a Sannin? Never mind me. Orochimaru started building up the chakra and tried to push it out, only to find that he couldn't. What have you done to me? He screamed. Just closed off the chakra points around your chakra center, so it can't build up enough momentum to break through. The only one who can open them after I've done that is Naruto, by using the nine-tailed fox's chakra to overfill his chakra center, forcing them open, said Neji matter-of-factly. Neji and Naruto decided to have a sparring match before he went missing, so they could see who was likely to lose in the exams. It ended in a draw. "No, how could you have done that? It's impossible," screamed Orochimaru. "Oh, by the way, you're still in, only now you can't dispel it, and slowly, but surely your body will die whilst you can do nothing to stop it. Your arms are already gone, and your legs will follow shortly," said Naruto. "Oh really? Well, I hate to disappoint you there because, as long as I'm still conscious, I can still dispel Genjutsu," said Orochimaru, doing so, as he said this, to realize that now Naruto was actually standing over him holding a kunai to his throat. But just before Naruto could deliver the final blow, the Sound Four and Kabuto appeared, knocking Naruto away, the Sound Four each squaring off against one of the Konoha ninja, whilst Kabuto picked up Orochimaru, and then all four of them disappeared in a cloud of smoke. "Damn, we lost him," said Shikamaru, running forwards into the smoke to look for them. "Don't worry about it, his arms are useless now, and it will be quite a while before Kabuto can reopen his chakra points, and that is going to hurt like hell," said Neji. Just then a huge raccoon appeared a short distance from the village limits outside the walls. "Looks like I've still got something to take care of," said Naruto with a smile, then he started jumping away in its direction. "But Shukaku used to wreck a village or two a year alongside him about a century before I ended up in you," replied the voice. "Why did you stop?" asked Naruto. "He's hardly more than an animal, I really couldn't abide being around him," replied the voice. They were heading for the demon with Sasuke, Neji, and Shikamaru. "Okay, well, any tips on beating him?" asked Naruto. "Actually, yes, summon Arasu, he should take him out without a problem, then I'll teach you a jutsu to seal Shukaku completely, freeing the host from his influence," said the voice. "Sounds good to me, but why are you doing all this?" asked Naruto. "For this particular one it's because I don't like Shukaku, as for the rest, whilst you were out I did some thinking, and decided that since I'm stuck with you, I'd rather not have you below your full potential," replied the voice. "Okay, well thanks," replied Naruto. "Sasuke, you can move faster than the rest of us, move on ahead and try and slow him down," shouted Naruto. "Right, get there as quick as you can," replied Sasuke. When Naruto, Neji, and Shikamaru arrived, they found that Sakura had tried to follow and defeat Gaara but hadn't been very successful. Then when Sasuke had arrived, he tried to help Sakura, but Gaara had been too powerful. "My gentle fist attacks won't work against him, his sand creates a barrier that stops them getting through," said Neji. "I seriously doubt my shadow will hold him, he has too much power," Shikamaru confirmed. "Okay, well don't worry about it, once I've freed Sakura, grab her." "Neji, Shikamaru, you grab Sasuke and get them the hell out of here, I can deal with this guy myself," said Naruto as he started to focus his chakra. "Alright, good luck," said Shikamaru. "Shadow Clone Jutsu," shouted Naruto, and in a puff of smoke, 9 more Narutos appeared. "Time to take out the trash and free Sakura," said one of the Narutos. With the aid of the demon chakra, the Narutos were too fast for the bulky Shukaku, and it struggled to take down 8, having quickly dispatched one, which also sped to remaining 8 up, whilst the 9th went to Sakura. "Don't worry Sakura, I'll get you out of there," said the real Naruto. "Dean Sleep Jutsu," shouted Gaara, forming a hand seal. "What's he doing?" asked Naruto. "He's putting himself to sleep so that Shukaku takes over and controls the body," replied the voice. "Any ideas?" he asked. "Leave it to me, I'm going to implant some more knowledge into your mind. This technique will do 2 things. First, it will cut through the sand barrier, and second, it will disrupt the chakra controlling the sand, preventing it from reforming," replied the voice. Naruto quickly performed 5 seals, then his hands glowed yellow, and chakra blades formed on the tips of his fingers. He quickly sliced down each side of Sakura, giving plenty of space to make sure he didn't hit her. The sand holding her then fell apart, its chakra disrupted, freeing her. "Neji, take her and get back to the village, I can't afford any friendlies, this could get dangerous," said the Naruto. "Okay, come back alive, I still have to beat you in the Chunin exam," Neji jokes. "We'll see who wins, now go," said Naruto, dispersing his clones. Neji picked up Sakura and jumped away on the tree branches back to the village. With Neji out of the way, Naruto started building his chakra. "Summoning jutsu," he shouted, and a huge 8-tailed fox appeared beneath him. "You must be the one that holds the fox god. Very well, I am yours to command," said the fox. Arasu? That you?" said Shukaku. "Yes, it is Shukaku," replied the fox. "Awesome, you can help me destroy this place," then said Shukaku. "No, that won't be happening, Shukaku. My master here is the container of my god, and this place is his home. It is the will of my god that I serve him in whatever he wishes to do, and his wish is to stop you, so I will stop you," explained the fox. Well, that sucks. Oh well, at least we can have a fun fight and try and draw it out, replied the sand raccoon. Also not going to happen, this is going to be quick and boring, replied Arasu. He then quickly charged forwards and sliced Shukaku's side as he passed him. Alright, now, we need to wake the Jinchuriki to seal Shukaku's mind back inside. After that we need to take down the Jinchuriki to reseal Shukaku within his body, said Arasu. Never mind that, kid, that's the hard way. I'm going to teach you the seal to permanently seal and silence Shukaku away from the Jinchuriki. This seal can be stored in the palm of your hand as a small blue spiral, then you release it by placing your hand on the Jinchuriki's head. And saying seal that will activate the jutsu. It may take a minute or two for it to work, but you can back off 3 seconds after you've said seal. After that the jutsu will be in his body and it can't be countered. All that will be left is for the jutsu to take effect, said the voice. Then Naruto found he knew a new set of seals and exactly how to use them. Alright, thanks, now it's time to take him down, said Naruto, quickly starting the set of 15 hand seals to perform the "Go for it, kid," said the voice. Then Arasu made another pass of Shukaku, but Naruto couldn't finish the seals in time to jump across, but as the large fox turned round he finished the seals and a small blue spiral appeared on the back of his right hand to mark that that was stored and ready for use, and, as Arasu passed by the raccoon for the 3rd time, Naruto jumped off and headed straight for Gaara, while Arasu quickly spun and wrapped himself around the raccoon, latching onto his arms to prevent them from getting Naruto. To give him the time he needed for the seal to be implanted into Gaara's body. Seal, shouted Naruto as he landed on Shukaku's head and swiftly placed his hand on Gaara's forehead. He then counted 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. Slowly the spiral disappeared from its tip round to the dot at the center, allowing an extra second to make sure. Naruto then jumped back onto Arasu, who then quickly released his grip on the sand raccoon and moved out the way of his swing. "What did you do?" cried Shukaku, obviously very panicked and confused by what just happened. "Arasu, keep him focused on us, we can't take a chance that he'll figure out what we've done. I want him to think that the technique didn't work. Act as if you're trying to give me another chance to get on and wake Gaara up, don't get hit. But leave enough so that I shouldn't get the opportunity to jump across it," said Naruto to the fox. "Okay, this won't be easy, but I'll do what I can, and I do appreciate your concern for my safety," replied the fox as he again charged at the raccoon but moved slightly away as one of the demon's claws swiped at him, avoiding the hit. And ensuring that Naruto was unable to jump across to Shukaku's head again, he continued this for around a minute and a half till Shukaku suddenly stopped. "Oh," said the giant raccoon as he suddenly disappeared and Gaara fell towards the floor. Naruto quickly jumped off Arasu and caught the still waking up Gaara. "Thanks for your help, Arasu, you can go now," said Naruto, laying Gaara on the floor. "Thank you, glad I could help," replied the fox before disappearing in a poof of smoke. Gaara slowly regained consciousness. "What happened?" he asked. "I resealed Shukaku inside you, you can still access his chakra, but he will no longer be able to influence you, you will be able to sleep soundly from now on," Naruto informed the sand ninja. "How did you know his name was Shukaku?" "He doesn't normally tell people his name," asked Gaara. "You aren't the only one with a demon sealed inside them, only difference is mine is willing to help me, that's how I knew the seal to stop him affecting you, add to that you only fight for yourself. You never stood a chance because having something to protect is what truly gives you strength," said Naruto. "I'm going to kill you, you haven't beaten me yet," said Gaara, malice apparent in his voice. He then ran forwards and attempted to slash Naruto with a kunai. "Yes, I have, Gaara, I can still summon Arasu again, and your sand can't do anything because I already know how to beat it. Even if you could do something to me, I will always win in the end because I have people to protect," Naruto said matter-of-factly. "Very well, I concede defeat, I cannot match that kind of power," said Gaara, dropping his stance. "Good choice, now come back to Konoha with me and we'll see about you and your siblings becoming official Konoha shinobi," said Naruto, turning towards Konoha. "Alright, that sounds nice," said Gaara, walking up to stand behind Naruto's right shoulder. They then moved off towards Konoha. Naruto and Gaara had picked up Kankuro and Temari on their way back to Konoha through the forest, and they arrived on the wall that surrounded Konoha where Sasuke, Sakura, Shikamaru, and Neji were. Upon seeing the 3 sand shinobi, Sasuke, Shikamaru, and Neji instantly got into battle stance, Sakura still being unconscious, to which Temari and Kankuro also got into a ready stance. "Relax guys, they're going to join Konoha, there's no need to fight," said Naruto, waving his hand. The Konoha ninja remained wary but dropped out of their stances. As did the sand ninja, but first things first, said Naruto, picking Sakura up. "We need to take Sakura to the hospital." He then jumped off the wall and the rest of the leaf and sand ninja followed. Okay, now that Sakura is safely in the hospital, we need to get an Anbu member to escort these three to the Hokage, said Naruto. He then pulled out a kunai and attached an exploding note to it and threw it into the air. Once it got above the height of the hospital, it exploded. Less than a minute later, two Anbu arrived beside them. Take these three to the Hokage, they wish to defect to Konoha, said Naruto. One of the Anbu had been one of the four on the roof of the Hokage's tower and had witnessed them take on Orochimaru. He decided to argue. Alright, but what are you going to do? He replied. I think I better go and speak with Heishi Hyuga. He isn't going to be happy to hear that his bloodline and the Uchihas are both derivatives of the Uzumaki bloodline and weaker ones at that, said Naruto. At this, Neji and Sasuke nodded in agreement. Alright, well, I think I'll go and talk to our senseis and let them know what's happened, said Shikamaru. Very well, we will take these to the Hokage, said the Anbu, and with that they moved off, Shikamaru heading for the front gate to locate their three sensei guy, Asuma and Kakashi, to let them know what happened, and Neji lead Naruto and Sasuke to the Hyuga compound. Shikamaru arrived at the part of the wall that had been blown in. He was met with devastation. All around were the bodies of Sound and Leaf Ninja. Blood was splattered everywhere, walls were covered. And instead of the ground being its usually yellowish brown of sand, it was the crimson of blood, completely covered, with bodies piled on top of each other, and more were being pulled on with each passing moment as and moved the bodies from other places and put them on the largest of the piles that had already formed. Shikamaru ran up to one of the pilling bodies up near a nearby house. Hey, have you seen Guy, Kakashi or Asuma? He asked. I did see Guy and Kakashi heading for the main gate, but I haven't seen Asuma for a couple of days, now, replied the. Shikamaru thought he looked somewhat like an older version of Kiba, but couldn't be sure. Alright, thanks, Shikamaru said, as he started running off in the direction of the main gate. Meanwhile, Neji came from the sound of a girl's voice. It was light and soft. Neji, Sasuke, and Naruto stopped on the building they were on, but couldn't see where the voice had come from. Then from the side of the building someone jumped up and landed on the roof in front of Neji. The girl had short dark bluish purple hair. She had on an overly large grayish jacket and black 3/4 length trousers with the dark blue sandals that most ninja wore. Hinata, what are you doing here? Asked Neji curiously. I heard someone mention that they'd heard you'd gone after Orochimaru with Sasuke, Naruto, and Shikamaru, so I got a bit worried and came to see if you were alright, she said. It was then that she noticed his eyes. What happened to your eyes, Neji? She asked with more than a little concern in her voice. Yes, we took on Orochimaru and gave him quite the beating. As for my eyes, Naruto did it. His Kekkei Genkai has been awakened and it has the ability to unlock the full potential of the Byakugan and the Sharingan. Can you awaken hers as well, Naruto? Said Neji. Sure, look into my eyes, Hinata, said Naruto. Don't faint, he's just going to help you become more powerful. Oh, I hope he sees how I feel, thought Hinata. Naruto looked into her eyes and started channeling chakra into his own, repeating the same procedure he had done with Neji. She loves you, kid, came the voice in his head. How do you know? Asked Naruto, a little miffed, thinking it was just winding him up. Three things. First, her heart rate skyrocketed the moment she heard your name, and even more when she started looking you in the eye. It's a wonder she's still standing. Second is the scent she gave off. As soon as she saw you, she wants you bad. And third, you can see it plain as day in her eyes, said the voice. Okay, so what should I do about it? Asked Naruto. Realize how you feel about her. She'd be an excellent mate for you. Once you've realized your feelings for her, everything else should fall into place, replied the voice plainly. What do you mean, realize how I feel about her? I don't understand, said Naruto, a little confused. Just search your feelings, you'll see, replied the voice. Naruto started searching his feelings for all the girls in the ninja squads. Sakura. Hot as hell, but she always hit him. Just lust, really, No way, looks aren't what he likes, and she gossips way too much. Everyone would know everything. Hinata. Always shy in the background. Whenever he saw her, she'd be looking at him, and occasionally he'd even found himself trying to catch a glimpse of her. No matter what anyone else said, she always seemed to encourage him and have absolute faith in him that he could never fail. And yes, everyone seemed to be able to get a little stronger when he shouted encouragement to them, but she always seemed to gain far more, as though she just wanted to do the very best she could just for him. Then it seemed to hit him like a sledgehammer to the face. He really cared for her. No, it was more than that even. He wasn't sure, but he thought he might love her, and now he could see it in her eyes. She loved him. Alright, it's done. I'll let Neji explain the new functions of your eyes on the way to the Hyuga compound, said Naruto, but his voice seemed a little different now. There was a feeling in it, but she couldn't quite tell what it was. Then she realized she could tell what it was. But she couldn't believe it. They carried on jumping across the rooftops. Hinata paid as much attention as she could to Neji, much as she would have preferred to disappear into her own little world. She knew she needed to know what difference it made to her, and according to Neji, her eyes had also gained pupils. and had taken on a light blue hue, not far from the brilliant blue of Naruto's own. Back with Shikamaru. Sensei, Kakashi-sensei, I have news. Naruto is back, and it would seem he has a Kekkei Genkai now, and it's fully awakened, said Shikamaru running up to the two standing by the main gate. You're telling us the Fuengen is once again active? Asked Kakashi in a plain voice, but his eyes showed his happiness both at Naruto's return and that he'd managed to activate his Kekkei Genkai. Yeah, and he's already fully advanced Sasuke's Sharingan and Neji's Byakugan. He said that Neji's was maxed, but Sasuke had another level beyond it. Hey, how'd you know it was called Fuengen? Shikamaru seemed very surprised. I'm one of three that knew all of Naruto's secrets, one being the fox, and another being that he was the last in the line of the Uzumakas and had the potential that he could someday activate it. Where is he now? Replied Kakashi. He's on his way to the Hyuga compound with Sasuke and Neji, said Shikamaru, a little curious. Right, well, I better get going then. I'm going to need to be there because Hiashi will just try and pass it off as some cheap trick, and with that he vanished in a puff of smoke. Thanks for bringing us this information, Shikamaru. I'll pass it on to your sensei and the other Jonin, said Guy before disappearing as well. Great, what am I supposed to do now, said Shikamaru to no one in particular in a very bored voice before jumping onto a rooftop and running off. And now we return to Naruto and the others just as they reach the Hyuga compound. The look on Hiashi's face is going to be a picture. Anyone got a camera handy? Asked Naruto, his trademark smile going from ear to ear. No, but I wish I did, replied Neji with a small smile on his face. Once Neji had finished his explanation, Hinata had dropped to the back of the group and somewhere along the way Sasuke had moved forward to beside Neji whilst Naruto had moved back to beside Hinata, and along the journey they appeared to have gotten quite close. If I were you right now I would not stand so close, we aren't going to want to give him any more reason to blow up at us, said Neji as Hinata blushed crimson and took quite a large step to her left. Then they walked through the large steel gates and into the Hyuga compound. As they entered they could see all around them branch family members training in the gentle fist style. Naruto and Sasuke quickly activated their Sharingan to gather as much information as possible on the gentle fist style and see what they could incorporate into their own. Of course, this was a far easier task for Naruto, as his Byakugan was also active, allowing him to copy every technique around him in an instant, as well as see the way they worked in relation to the chakra points. Soon they arrived at the main building and walked up to one of the doors. Sasuke, Naruto, and Hinata stopped, and Neji walked up and knocked on the door. Sir, I'm here with Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Hinata. We must speak with you, said Neji. Enter came the gruff male voice of Hiashi from the other side of the door. Neji grabbed the left side of the door and slid the door to the right. Neji, Sasuke, Naruto, and Hinata walked in, and then Hinata turned round and slid the door closed behind her. What is so important that you came here and brought them with you, said Hashi with his eyes closed, referring to Naruto and Sasuke. If you had bothered to open your eyes, father, you would already know why we are here, said Hinata, seemingly gaining worlds of confidence just by sitting by Naruto. Hiashi opened his eyes, and shortly thereafter his mouth when he saw their eyes, the two pairs of now and hued Hyuga eyes. Sasuke's Mangekyo Sharingan and Naruto's brilliant blue with almost unmarked irises, unmarked other than five-sided stars that formed a pentagram within his eye that denoted the Fuengen Kekkei Genkai, and Hiashi knew the significance of it. Like the rest of the village, he thought the Fuengen Kekkei Genkai of the Uzumakas had been wiped out, as it always had to be taught out, and no member had ever been able to spontaneously activate it without the help of another member of their clan, that is until now. So you have activated the Fuengen, and for the first time in 1,000 years you have used it to increase the power of both the Byakugan and the Sharingan, said Hiashi, closing his eyes again. Very well, you will now have the full backing of the Hyuga clan, and Neji, come forward. And kneel before me. Neji stood up and walked in front of Hiashi. He then knelt down in front of him. Hiashi then closed his eyes and focused his chakra. He then made 5 hand seals in rapid succession and opening his eyes said the spell. Now Neji, your cage bird seal has been removed. And you are part of the main household. Come and see me tonight. I have a letter from your father for you. Sasuke, the Uchiha, and the Hyuga have never previously gotten on, but I know Neji holds your skill in high regard. You are always welcome here. And I hope that this brings in a new era of friendship between our clan and you, the last Uchiha, and your future clan. Thank you, Hiashi. I am glad that the past of our clans was one thing that died with the rest of my clan, and rest assured I will be the last of the true Uchiha until Itachi is dead. Only then can I look to rebuilding my clan, replied Sasuke, bowing low. Neji had been shocked but now spoke. Why have you removed my seal? He asked. Because this is a new era and our clan needs you to be able to learn all our techniques. Though I cannot make you heir, I am sure you are worthy of the status of being a main branch member. Do not trouble yourself with the clan elders, I will deal with them myself, replied Hiashi. I think it's time we left, thank you for your backing, sir, said Naruto, getting up and bowing. Very well, I look forward to watching your progress. I am sure you will do well, said Hiashi. Hinata and Sasuke got up and bowed to Hiashi and then followed Naruto out the door. Once outside, Sasuke said, I'm not sure what to do now, all my plans have gone out the window, but I have a feeling that we'll be called to see the Hokage soon enough. You're probably right, why don't you go and let Sakura know what happened, said Naruto. Yeah, alright, I'll see you later, said Sasuke. Then he jumped up to the wall that bordered the Hyuga compound and away on the rooftops of Konoha. So what do you want to do now? Naruto asked, and Hinata nearly fell over in shock. He wanted to do something with her, and he wanted to know what she wanted to do. She managed to regain her composure. She thought about everything she dreamed of doing with Naruto if she had the chance. Then she realized that in all the trouble and excitement she'd forgotten to eat and was actually rather hungry. I'm not sure, get something to eat maybe, she said, hoping that it would be okay with him. Sounds great, I think we'll go to a restaurant I know, shall we call it a date? Naruto replied, and, as soon as he asked Hinata if she wanted to say it was a date, she fainted. She couldn't believe her luck, her first real date with Naruto, and he had asked her. Naruto spent the next 10 minutes trying to bring her round and keep her conscious, as every time he brought her round, she remembered that she was about to go on her first date with Naruto and fainted again. When she was finally awake again, they got going. They jumped onto the wall and off onto the roofs. They traveled around 4 streets into an area with some quite expensive restaurants, and when Naruto and Hinata jumped down and walked over to one of the most expensive restaurants, Hinata fainted again and again for around 15 minutes. This time Naruto had to keep bringing her round for her to faint again. Finally she was awake and they walked into the restaurant. We will not serve you, so you might as well go, said the waiter to Naruto, the malice in his voice apparent before he saw Hinata. So you won't serve the escort of a member of the Hyuga clan? Come on then, Naruto, I guess we'll just have to go and tell my father that I couldn't get lunch whilst he trained Neji and Hanabi, said Hinata, and the waiter's jaw immediately dropped. He started stammering as he tried to apologize profusely when he saw Hinata. I'm sorry ma'am, I didn't realize he was with you, please come this way, said the waiter. If I find that you've treated him this way ever again, then the weight of the Hyuga clan will crush this restaurant. Naruto has their full backing, said Hinata, and despite her firmness her voice was still soft. Understood ma'am, I will inform all our staff and it will never happen again, replied the waiter. Now that that's settled, what can you recommend for today? I'd like something not on the menu, I'm sure your chef knows at least a couple of dishes, said Hinata, still with a firm voice. Actually, I think I know one that may be of interest. It was a dish the chef made on the request of the 4th Hokage. Would you like to try it? Asked the waiter whilst seating them at a table for 2. Yes, I think that will be fitting, said Hinata kindly. Naruto and Hinata small talked until the food arrived, just talking about the weather and the attack that happened earlier. When the food arrived, they sat silently eating. Although around halfway through, Hinata somewhere found the courage to manage to start playing footsie with Naruto under the table, which surprised Naruto, but he was more than happy to return the gesture. And the events of Sasuke. He jumped from rooftop to rooftop. He had one destination in mind. Beyond that he had no idea where Sakura might be, but he would find her. As he traveled he thought about her. She was a beautiful girl, but he couldn't afford a relationship, it was too risky. Anyone that was too attached could get in the way when he went after Itachi, and that wouldn't do. Anyone who wanted to be close to him had to be able to let him go and stay out of his way. He knew Naruto could, even if he was there he'd just cheer from the sidelines. And like everyone that knew Naruto well, if he was cheering for you, you couldn't explain how, but you always got stronger, and he knew that Naruto would only step in when he was dead, and only God could help Itachi at that point. He knew that Naruto was far stronger than him. Particularly now, and since Naruto had all the skills of the Mangekyou Sharingan, and the Byakugan rolled into one with a few bonuses added to that, and with a 9-tailed fox sealed inside him, there was virtually no limit to his chakra stores. Before he knew it, Sasuke was at the street with Sakura's house and her parents' shop on. He jumped down from the roof and walked over to the shop. He saw Sakura inside and knocked on the window. She looked round and saw him, a warm smile forming on her face. He still couldn't deny she was pretty, but his mind was still too set on his goal to give it a second thought beyond, well, maybe when I'm done with Itachi. She then walked out of the shop. Hey Sasuke, what's up? She asked warmly. How are you? He asked. Better since you saved me and took me to the hospital, replied Sakura. It wasn't me that saved you, I was as powerless as you were. It was Naruto, it was also him that took you to the hospital, said Sasuke looking down. Oh, is there any other reason you came by? Asked Sakura. Actually yeah, I'm here to fill you in on some recent events, replied Sasuke. What happened to Kakashi? They appeared in the main room of the Hyuga house in a poof of smoke, as it cleared he could see Niji and Hiashi Hyuga, but no one else. Well, it would appear that I'm a little late, he said, stepping out of the smoke. Sorry for the intrusion, Hiashi, he continued, bowing. You say it as though it's something unusual, Kakashi. I have already spoken to both Sasuke and Naruto. I am hopeful that we will see a new age of cooperation and friendship between the clans. Naruto has been given the full backing of the Hyuga clan. I didn't tell him. But this will include when it comes time for a new Hokage, although I have a feeling he won't be the 5th Hokage, although it would have been ironic if he had. Oh, and Kakashi, please remember that you are always welcome here, as long as you are using the doors, replied Hiashi. Right, sorry about that, and thank you for your assistance to Naruto. I'm sure my sensei would be thanking you as well if he were here. I'll be going now. You wouldn't happen to know where Naruto or Sasuke went, would you? Asked Kakashi. Actually, I would. Sasuke has gone to find Sakura and tell her what's happened, and Naruto took my daughter to lunch. I think they make a wonderful couple, Hiashi said with a knowing look to Kakashi. Thank you again for all your help, Hiashi. I think I'll go find Sasuke and Sakura, said Kakashi before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Did you forget about Shikamaru? Well, I didn't. Now to see what he got up to. Man, where the hell could Asuma-sensei be? He muttered, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. Oh well, might as well go and find Ino and Choji and tell them what's happened, he said, changing his direction and heading for the flower shop that Ino's parents owned. Arriving at the flower shop, Shikamaru went in. He saw Ino in the far corner arranging roses in a vase. Hey Ino, listen, can you spare some time? We need to find Choji. I've got something I need to tell you both. He asked. Sure, Shikamaru, Ino said. Mom, I'm taking off for a while, she shouted. Alright, see you later, they heard from the back of the shop. Then they walked out into the street. Now let's go and find Choji. Any idea where he is? Asked Shikamaru. As a matter of fact, I do. He's at the Big Beef Grill restaurant with his dad, replied Ino. Okay, shoulda known that you'd know. Okay, let's go get him, said Shikamaru. Ino nodded and they jumped onto the rooftops and away. Back to Naruto and Hinata. They walked out of the restaurant and were greeted by an Anbu Black Ops squad. Naruto Uzumaki, you are to come with us, and judging by the difference in appearance of your eyes, Miss Hyuga, I think it would be best if you came along as well. Don't worry about Sasuke, Niji, and Shikamaru, we've dispatched teams to pick them up too. The 3rd Hokage wishes to see you, said the leader wearing a squirrel mask. Very well, let's go then, said Naruto. Then he, Hinata, and the 4 Anbu members moved off to the Hokage's tower at great speed. 5 minutes later. Naruto and Hinata walked along the corridor to the Hokage's office. As they arrived, the 3 sand ninja emerged wearing leaf head protectors where their sand ones had been. So the 3 of you are part of Konoha now, that's good, hopefully see you around later to Mari, Kankuro, Gaara, said Naruto. Yes we are, and I think we shall definitely be seeing each other, said Gaara in a voice that had a strange hint of happiness to it, to which his siblings were quite surprised to hear. They then carried on, and Naruto and Hinata walked into the Hokage's office. Naruto, I'm glad that you've finally been able to awaken your clan's legendary abilities, as you saw even Orochimaru is sacred of them. I also see that you have enhanced Hinata's Byakugan, and I understand you have enhanced Niji's Byakugan, and even Sasuke's Sharingan to Mangekyo Sharingan. I intend to inform the village of what you have done, and the Kekkei Genkai you have, said the 3rd. No, don't tell the village, it might not be fair on the rest, but it's more trouble than it's worth for me. If they heard I had even had a hand in defeating Orochimaru, they would immediately think that the fox was starting to take control of me. No, I'd prefer the village not know I had anything to do with it, and besides Hiashi has given me the backing of the Hyuga clan, so that should make life a little easier, replied Naruto. During the course of the conversation, Hinata had moved forward and to the side of Naruto. And by the end of it was holding his hand. The 3rd had noticed this, but taking what Naruto had just said into account, he realized the chances were that Hiashi would actually be very pleased with this. Very well then, Naruto, the village will not be told, now all that remains is for the rest to arrive, said the 3rd. But Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke had just finished telling Sakura everything that had happened. He had also switched his Mangekyo Sharingan off. So Naruto has a Kekkei Genkai. Your Sharingan has been advanced to a higher stage of it, called Mangekyo Sharingan by Naruto, and he has also enhanced Niji. And Hinata's Byakugan. Sakura was repeating what Sasuke had just told her in short to make sure she had heard him right. Yes, said Sasuke. Just then Kakashi appeared in front of them. Well, I finally found you, Sasuke. I hear Naruto activated your Mangekyo Sharingan, and that his Fuengan is active too, is that right? Asked Kakashi, to which Sasuke's only reply was to look him in the eye and activate his Mangekyo Sharingan. Okay, so I heard right then, said Kakashi. Then 3 Anbu appeared. Kakashi senpai, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, please come with us, the Hokage wishes to see you, said the Anbu wearing a rabbit mask. Alright, let's get going then, said Kakashi. Sakura and Sasuke stood up, and then the two genin and four Anbu disappeared. The Shikamaru. No way, so Naruto has a Kekkei Genkai and is now even more powerful than Sasuke or Neji. I can't believe that, Shikamaru, said Ino. That Naruto, he sure is something, said Choji. Just then four Anbu appeared around them. Shikamaru, Nara, have you told these two about what has happened? Asked one of the Anbu. Yes, replied Shikamaru. Very well then, Shikamaru, Nara, Choji Akimichi, and Ino Yamanaka, you are to come with us, said the Anbu. Alright, let's go see what the Sandaime want, said Shikamaru, and with that they all disappeared. 10 minutes later in the Hokage's office. Now that everyone has been assembled, first and foremost, Naruto has asked that the exact details of these incidents remain hidden because, as you all know, he contains the spirit of the nine-tailed fox, and many of the older villagers can only see the demon and not the Naruto we all know. As such, I would like ask if anyone here would have an objection to me doing the same thing, as when the four genin teams were assembled here to be told of the demon within Naruto, said the Hokage, thinking back to that day, just after the completion of the forest part of the exams. Flashback begins. The senseis had finished congratulating their teams on passing the exam so far, then they each brought their teams to the Hokage's office. Now there is a very good reason why you've all been brought here, it is in regards to Naruto Uzumaki. What I'm about to tell you does not leave this room, all of your senseis have agreed that knowing this will not affect how you treat him, and this information is classified. As S-classes, said the Hokage, very solemnly looking at the genin assembled before him, including a very worried looking Naruto at the back. As you all know, 12 years ago the nine-tailed fox attacked this village, you were told that it was defeated and led to believe that it had been killed. That is not entirely true, yes, it was defeated at the cost of the fourth Hokage's life, but it could not be destroyed. Instead, it was sealed within the body of a newborn child. It was the fourth's wish that this child, like himself, would be treated like a hero. However, the people of the village did not hold to his wishes, instead only seeing the demon instead of the child. That child is Naruto, said the third. All of the genin except Naruto looked shocked. Naruto hung his head expecting to see the same stares of hatred and disgust as he saw from the rest of the village. Then he felt something he hadn't expected, a hand resting on his shoulder. He looked up. You know, Naruto, we already know you couldn't be the demon within you. After all, I doubt a demon would have such an aptitude for practical jokes, said Sasuke. The looks on the rest of the faces in the room emulated the same sentiments. You are our friend and comrade. We will not fail you when you need us most. Thank you all, I am glad to see that I have made the right decision in telling you, said the Hokage. Then flashback. No, Lord Hokage, I don't think anyone here would have any objections. We have all seen the looks the villagers give him and have often heard him be referred to as the demon brat, and this to them would only confirm their suspicions, said Neji. Yes, I think that this should also be an S-class secret. We'll leave it to you to decide the cover story, said Shikamaru. But what about Kiba, Akamaru, Shino, Tenten, and Bushy Brows? They should be told as well, said Naruto. Very well, Naruto, the arrangements will be made for them to be informed of the events and the details of their classification, said the third. Now you may all go, except you, Naruto, I need to speak to you, he finished. Then all except Naruto, Hinata, and Kakashi left the room. I see, said the Hokage. Very well, then I will inform you as well, Jiraiya, said the third, and the Sannin appeared next to him. Yes, sensei, said Jiraiya. Now then, I have decided that it is once again time I retired, and I believe that Tsunade would be the best person to take over the position of Hokage, said Sarutobi. But Lord Hokage, we have no idea where she is, said Kakashi. That's why I want Jiraiya to take Naruto and go and look for her. You have 2 weeks, said the. I have one request, I want Hinata to come with us as well, said Naruto. The third seemed to think about this for a few moments. Very well then, take her as well, and Jiraiya, she's a Hyuga, so treat her well, said Sarutobi. Understood, Sarutobi-sensei, said the Sannin. He then turned to Naruto and Hinata, you two go home and get packed, meet me at the front gate in 2 hours, he said to the genin. Okay, Iro Sennin, let's go, Hinata, said Naruto. What have I told you about calling me that, screamed the Sannin to Naruto and Hinata's backs. Take care of him, Jiraiya, I'm counting on you to look after your student's legacy, said Kakashi before vanishing. Outside the Hokage's tower. Naruto and Hinata were walking away from the tower and heading for the Hyuga compound. So if we go and collect your things and then go and get mine, said Naruto. Okay, Naruto and Hinata. Thanks for watching my video, see you next time, till then sayonara.